Alright guys, as you can tell I'm not here today. I'll be back on Monday, so I'll see you then. But until I am, Allison's here and she's awesome, so treat her well, or she might just kick your butts, who really knows. Allison, it's totally okay, especially if it's Greg or Jordan. Get on that. So, I just have a couple quick words of wisdom here before we get going, and you get started on the WebAssign. So, starting out, let's examine a problem.
Okay, so what do we have here? We've got Harrison playing with a cannon. What's in the cannon? Oh no, it's Maud! Maud has been shot up out of the cannon. She's out of sight. Is she going to come back down? There she is! She's coming down. What's going to happen when she hits the ground? Oh no! Maud's dead! And this leaves us with only one important question in our lives. What was Maud's launch velocity if her impact velocity was 32 meters per second? How do we find out? Well, let's recall first off that our potential energy equation is mgh plus 1/2 kx squared. That 1/2 kx squared is the spring potential energy, of course, and mgh is the gravitational potential energy. We then add on top of that our kinetic energy formula is 1/2 mv squared, as you know. And finally, our third important equation for this part of the chapter is that the initial potential energy plus the initial kinetic energy plus the initial other energy is equal to potential energy final plus kinetic energy final plus the other energy final. So how does that apply in this case? Well, let's first look at the final kinetic energy. The final velocity is 32, so we have 0.5 times the mass times 32 squared, and that's going to give us 512 times the mass. Moving on, we have the final potential energy. The final potential energy is mass times gravity times the final height. The final height is 0, so the potential energy final is 0. Thirdly, we look at the potential energy initial. Okay, you can see I left off the little initial thing. Oh well. Potential energy initial is mass times gravity times the initial height, which in this case is mass times 9.8 times 24, or 235.2 times mass. Next, we have the initial kinetic energy, and that's 0.5 times the mass times v initial squared, which is what we're trying to find. We're trying to find v initial, right? The launch velocity. So we plug all those things into the potential energy initial plus kinetic energy initial equals potential energy final plus kinetic energy final. You'll notice, of course, that I've left out the other energies, because even though there's like the sound from the cannon, that happens before the initial velocity, the launch velocity, is really applied. Okay, and yes, we're going to lose some of that energy to the ground after Maud hits and gets crushed into little bits, but unfortunately, that happens after our final velocity. Remember, final velocity is right before she hits the ground. Alright, so we plug everything in. We get 235.2 times the mass plus 0.5 times mass times velocity initial squared. And that's going to equal 0 plus 512 times mass. As always, the masses are going to cancel. So we get 0.5 v initial squared equals 276.8. And that is going to give us v initial equals 23.5. Done. Voila, we win. I'm going to give you a moment to catch up if you have not finished writing it all down, and if you need more time than about the 25 seconds I'm going to give you, then have Allison or somebody else pause it and just like display it up there. Shouldn't be too big a deal.
Alright guys, a couple final parting announcements before I go and let you get to the WebAssign. First off, people, you cannot leave until you are done with the WebAssign. Okay, let Allison know if you are done, and she will write your name down, and remember, I can check it. Alright, the exception to that rule is Adam Frank. Adam, if you're feeling good about it, you can go ahead and go. And to the band room, that's fine, but make sure you're okay on everything. Secondly, Jordan, trust me, I will check yours. I might be too lazy to check some people's if they finish or not. I'm not too lazy to check yours, so don't risk it, man. Third, Greg, no one cares whether you're done with your WebAssign. No one except Allison, and only Allison cares because I asked her to care. Thank you, Allison. Fourth, Miles. I'm gonna say to you, man, I don't understand. Enjoy your Minecraft. And fifth, I rarely feel like I have to explicitly spell this out for you guys, but today's the exception. So, under no circumstances should anyone be putting any dirt into anyone's mouth. especially not Alex. You hear that, Catherine? No dirt, no people's mouths. And last but not least, just remember, Catherine, this is what it's going to look like today when you go out on the basketball court to play NCS, alright? It's going to get crazy. No pressure. Have a good one, guys, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye.